Hi, everyone, and welcome to PodChef, the only official Top Chef podcast. My name is Brian Jackson. I'm your host today, and I get my last name, which Reeves won't do. We have a tight 45-minute show for you today. We're saying that at 45 seconds into the podcast. Let's see how it goes. I am joined, as always, with my two co-hosts, Jamal and Reeves. Jamal, tell the people hello.
Hello, people.
All right, and Reeves, why don't you tell all the people a hello?
Hey everyone. Thanks for listening. This episode's you're going to be 2 episodes into one, and you might be thinking, wow, that's really nice. And the answer is because they both aren't enough to do one full episode about. So you're getting 2 for 1. Isn't that nice?
We're going to do 2 episodes in 45 minutes. Most of our episodes are like an hour 15. So this is going to be a real fun time, especially because I'm wasting a bunch of time up top here. But what I'm going to do now is, because I'm the host and because I did a run of show, I typed out a run of show. Number 1A.
Don't say the run of the show. Don't go down the list of the run of the show.
I want everyone to know what I learned. Everyone needs to know what I learned.
Business.
Jeez Louise.
But this is what I learned in my UCB class. People need to know.
People like to know, like, exactly that we make an outline before we do the show, or for the first time ever, we actually made an outline to try and keep us on task.
Yeah,
I think people will appreciate it.
I don't think anyone's going to appreciate it. I think, especially knowing the segments, I think you should just do the segments.
Let's try it. See if it works.
Sorry, look, gonna pull rank. I'm the host. So as Linkin Park says, shut up when I'm talking on the podcast. Number 1A from the run of show. What we had for dinner last night. And I'll go first because it wasn't pizza, but it was takeout, and it was Mediterranean food, and it was gross.
Why was it gross?
Because it just wasn't good. I was really excited for like a chicken shawarma plate. I was like craving it, so we ordered it from this place, and I'm gonna drag them. It's Oasis on Bedford Ave in Williamsburg.
Oh, there goes our sponsorship.
I wanted Oasis to sponsor this podcast.
No, their food was yucky. The food is kept in like warming trays, but it's not warm. And when I got it, it was actively cold.
Actively cold.
And you can't reheat it because it's all plate that like has salad in it and like hummus, so you can't reheat it. So it's just like
you couldn't take out the food that could be reheated and put it on an actual plate that you have.
It's all like torn up pieces of chicken. It's like it's everywhere.
Yeah, you have spoons.
No, we don't have spoons in our house. They're strictly forbidden.
Bull crap.
They're forbidden?
They're forbidden. There's a sign on the door. It says abandon all ye spoons who enter when you come into our house. And I'll tell you why it is. I'll tell you why we don't have spoons here. I'll tell you why.
Please do.
Because it's haunted by a musician that does the spoons on the knees thing. And if there's spoons in the house, then he does it, and it's terrifying.
I'm starting to put this together. You, instead of putting no Negroes, a sign says no Negroes, you said no spoons in the house instead.
Do I have to cut this? What do we do?
So, Brian, I want to tell you, first of all, I love the idea of doing a spooky bit. I'm always on board with that. But I feel like we did it last week too. And my fear is we have gone beyond the point of Halloween when these are going to be posted. And so people will be all spooked out.
What did we do last week that was
Thanksgiving related? I probably talked about Ghost or something.
Well, we did Ghost weeks ago when we realized that octopus are ghosts.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but then you said you put a no ink sign on your door because you didn't want Negro octopus coming.
And you think that Jamal is going to drop this, and he will not.
I'm going to leave these in, Jamal, just so you get canceled again.
No, how is someone going to cancel me for saying Negro?
You know why. You know what you did.
Oh, that's right. I forgot I had that race change.
All right. So I had yucky Mediterranean. Reeves, what did you have for dinner last night?
I had pan-seared salmon and a salad with a bunch of mixed shit in that I threw in there, and a vinaigrette that I made myself.
What kind of vinaigrette?
It was, what was it? It was balsamic, apple cider vinegar, a little Dijon mustard, a little honey, salt, pepper, obviously. And then you finish it off with olive oil, and you kind of have to slowly mix that in.
Wow. Where do you guys find the time to cook anything?
Well, it's a pandemic, so you have all the time.
That's basically what I was going to say.
I'm busy. My sketch team shot an in-person sketch last weekend in my backyard. I'm going to get canceled so quickly. We all got tested beforehand. I have been COVID tested a couple times.
Well, you didn't request them, right? They were forced on you. Those COVID tests?
Yeah. Someone just saw me outside and they were like, "Sir, you look awful.
Give me your nose.
You need to do this right away."
Also, why do you have so many spoons?
Oh, because they don't come in my house. And then they said racist.
So Jamal, what did you have for dinner?
Yeah,
I had sweet potatoes, I had green beans tossed in garlic, and I had Negro fish.
Spoonfish?
Blackened fish.
Okay. So you guys both ate fish. You also, to go behind the candelabra callback, when we started this record, both Jamal and Reeves are both eating frozen fruit, and they didn't plan it, but they're both doing it.
Yeah, it's kind of worrisome for me that Reeves and I constantly eat real food. And when we do the part where please present what you made for us, you're not technically making anything.
So speaking of fighting when something's being recorded, we watched the reunion episode first. And how about that for a transition?
It was a freaking reunion. Everyone came back. All your favorites. Ken, Cynthia, Brian.
Did I say Ken came back, by the way?
He did come back. Did he ever?
Karate Ken.
Karate Ken came back.
Karate Ken.
Back in, this is a weird episode. Back in better than ever, Karate Ken came back. It was nice to see them get back together. It actually looked like they hadn't seen each other in a while. Like, I think nowadays when people do shows like this, they kind of get like sequestered.
Sequestered?
Yeah, no, sequestered's right. Don't. That's rude, Jamal. Don't correct them.
I'm sorry.
So they get sequestered, and they don't like they see each other the whole time, so nothing really ever changes. This seems like they were actively apart from each other, and it was a nice reunion.
Yeah, it was very sweet. People were. I feel like. Overall, this reunion, people were more relaxed. Steven was dressed not in a suit, but like a normal white douchebag from the mid 2000s.
Yeah, who's like
he had.
Yeah,
go ahead. I think he had an Ed Hardy shirt on and jeans and like dress shoes.
Jeans.
Yeah. Another note is I want to say half the people there were drunk.
Oh my God. I mean, yes.
Steven had an empty bottle or a half empty bottle of wine on stage. And this was the beginning of the reunion.
Yeah.
On that note, let's see if the audience can tell if the people are drunk or not. Listen to this.
How many eyes do you have?
I've got 3. I've got 2 in the front of me to watch you. And when I turn around, I still can see you. I love it. I love that. Actually, there's 4, but the 4th one we don't talk about. It only sees you at night.
That's a sober joke that you make? I think that's when you've had a couple, you shot him back and said, I'm going for it. Talk about the old 4th snake. And
so at home, you might be wondering, like, what was that gobbling noise? And that was Miguel's real laugh, which sounds like a turkey. Thanksgiving. Hopefully this comes out around Thanksgiving.
All right.
And he really does laugh like that. And he does it multiple times this episode.
So I messed up. I think I have to replay that clip. So this is an editing point. I didn't.
Great. Let me mark it.
I played it from my speakers instead of from my laptop. So let's see if I can get
it. Well, we're gonna cover it anyway.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never
we have somebody for that now.
Yeah.
We do. I keep forgetting. Okay.
I wonder, like, Miguel was a happy-go-lucky guy. Did he not laugh the entire season? Because, like, we would have known that's what he sounded like. Like, that would have stuck out to us.
And it also feels like the editors would have really gone in hard on him if he did that laugh. Like I feel like even if he did it once, they would replay it like a million times because they would be like, "This is weird." But it must have been that he wasn't as happy as he was before. So, after the show, he was able to be happy and do his normal turkey gobble laugh.
Which I'm often criticized for not laughing. But if I did have a laugh, I'd want it to be kind of like something that would call out to other animals to let them know that I'm having a good time and that I'm being jolly and fun. But, one day I'll get that laugh.
All right, folks, that was sad. If you want to, Jamal.
Was that too spooky?
Jamal can't find his laugh. He's lost his laugh, everyone. It's going to be a Pixar movie coming out next Christmas. Jamal loses his laugh. And it's like Nemo, but it's his laugh, and it's underwater.
He's underwater, and it's like it takes, a series of clownfishes to like teach him how to get his laugh back, basically.
Yeah. I'm still voiced by Will Smith, though.
Yeah. But they won't reference Shark Tale.
Not at all.
Speaking of the ocean, you guys know what's on the bottom of the ocean?
What's that, Brian?
Sand.
So, real quick before we jump into that clip, Brian, listen, again, I think you're doing a great job. I think you're crushing. I like the striving to find those transitions. I think
it's so painful.
I think what we are finding is the connection between the words and the clips. That's there. It's then the flow that leads us into the clip that we are missing. But I think you'll get it.
So, sand on the bottom of the ocean, sand on the plate. Jamal, play that clip.
For the record, on elimination, that first challenge, I think Ken was sent home for a lot of different reasons, but I don't think his dish was the worst dish. There was sand in the kale in Andrea's dish, and I think there were a lot of other reasons why he was sent home.
This has got to do with food and with what went on the plate. Hold on. If you and you and you accept the plate with sand on it, sand, dirt, but muck! If you accept the dish with sand on the plate, you're a sad lad and you're doing what the producers tell you to do.
No, Andrew came to the table that night. Candace came to the table that night.
Found out there's sand, dirt, and muck are all the same thing in Ireland.
Yeah, and if you are the type of person that sees that on your plate and you're like, ooh, that's tasty, that makes you a sad lad.
That makes you a sad lad.
That makes you a sad lad. I'm glad that Ken brought that up because not enough people can recognize the warning signs of when like maybe one of your friends is a sad lad. And that's one of them. Like if you're out at dinner with one of your friends and your friend has sand, muck, the other word on their plate, and that's okay. It might be a sad lad. Maybe they just don't know how to tell you.
But maybe you're not a sad lad. Maybe you're someone who has just a more refined palate. So you have a question for folks of if I had to choose between muck and terrible food, which would I choose? Why don't we ask Steven? That's a transition, Brian.
Whoa, question is...
Talking about sand on a dish and no sand on a dish.
Question for the evening.
All right, which dish
what would you rather eat? Sand or
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'd rather have sand than beep. Okay, so
they cheered for that.
I know.
Yeah.
I just want to have you ever been in a situation where you burn somebody so bad that 10 people fucking cheer for you and they're like, woo, yeah. Steven has to feel like a fucking king.
Well, he's dressed like one. He was dressed like one at the reunion.
I haven't had that experience, but I did have an experience when I was 13 years old and took part in my first short form improv competition where I don't remember the parameters of the game that we were given, and I made a mistake and I broke them, and the audience booed me. And the audience consisted of my peers and my family and friends.
And they booed you.
They booed me.
Well, that's tough love.
Yep. And that's stuck with me my entire life. So,
but did you explain to them that in improv, it's actually the mistakes that are where the true fun comes from, because it's not expected and it throws everybody off?
Yeah, I was like, and actually I was doing good improv out there by not following the rules, because Del Close was the one that said that you shouldn't follow the rules. If you follow the rules, then you're a bad person and not a good improviser.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
look where that got that theater.
6 feet underground.
And at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. And just like how they booed you, was what it was.
So I was almost certain that there was a Linkin Park song that was "It Is What It Is." It is what it is, but there isn't. It's something else.
You Googled "It Is What It Is" Linkin Park?
Yes. It didn't come up. I was almost certain. I was like, oh, great. I have a connection. But there isn't. So anyway, I guess we're going to cut that.
I know what you're thinking of. I know what you're thinking of. You're thinking of, I tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it doesn't really matter, because that's the same thing.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking of.
In the end, it doesn't really matter.
That's probably what I listened to after that show when I was 13.
How am I supposed to? Can one of you tell me how I'm supposed to feel about Linkin Park? Because I'm on the fence. I don't.
That's a good question. I feel like Linkin Park is a bit like. Actually, you know what, Brian, you handle this.
After outside of the Jay-Z collab, I don't really know Linkin Park.
So here's my thought about that. I know that you like anime, yes?
Correct.
If you YouTube search like anime clips, or like there's like a thing, or say you like search like Linkin Park Hybrid Theory song.
You're talking about like Dragon Ball Z AMV videos.
Yeah, you get a ton of like music of like clips of anime cut to Linkin Park.
Okay, so I have heard Linkin Park then.
So you probably like them. Personally, I think that if you like one band, you don't have to like another band, even though lots of people do. But some people think that that's a thing. Some people think that like, oh, you like this, you must like that band. And you get in your head thinking these like crazy like conspiracies. You're like, oh, so if Jamal likes 21 Pilots, he must love Linkin Park. And like, that's my conspiracy theory. And conspiracy theory clip.
Okay,
that's
give me a second, because my brain stopped working for a second. So I was like, what is he doing? He's trying for something.
I immediately, when you started going on the rant, like one sentence in, I was like, what's the next clip? And then I was like, I bet this is to lead to conspiracy theory. And I was right. I think it was pretty good.
Hey, I'm not saying it was bad. I just was not expecting it. So good job, Brian.
Run of show, baby.
I have a two-part question from Amanda in Azusa, California. Who actually did lower the temperature on Leanne's oven? And Tiffany, are you aware that there's a conspiracy theory on the message boards on BravoTV.com going around that you were the one turning off burners and lowering temperatures on the ovens?
I'm aware of the conspiracy theory. It's interesting. It's definitely true.
Wow. So there are Top Chef conspiracy theories even as early as the first season. And it is nice to know that they're taking questions from a message board, which we all know nothing bad can ever happen on a message board.
It's very truthful on a message board, too.
They are never any kind of harbinger of conspiracy theories or just general bad ideas.
Nope.
So, what do you guys think? Do
you guys talking about?
Go ahead.
You guys talking about QAnon?
Oh no!
Oh, now you mentioned it, so now their ears have clicked on, and they've now downloaded software to the podcast.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
What if you speak up them?
If you say it on recorded audio on a computer, there's like catchwords. So now we're being watched. So this is part of the last episode. Glad we got that interview with Harold. Thank you all for listening and writing the reviews. If we disappear, any one of us disappears before the next episode, QAnon got us because we talked about a conspiracy theory and mentioned their name.
# save all the children. Speaking of being drunk, Tiffany is trashed. Like, she was, to me, the most visually drunk person in this reunion was Tiffany. Like, she
Hold on a second. You're telling me that Tiffany was the most visually drunk person and not this guy?
Love it. I love that. Actually, there's 4, but the 4th one we don't talk about. It only sees you at night.
So Miguel was the most audibly drunk.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So listen, I stand by. I think about half the people there are drunk. Tiffany is definitely drunk. There's a point where her and Dave and someone else, I think, get into it, and she gets it might have actually been after this conspiracy theory thing. After she gets very upset and she leaves the set, and people just keep saying, like, is she going to throw up? I think she's going to throw up. Give her a bucket. And I was like, what the fuck? She's just crying. What are you? And then I put it together. I was like, oh, she's like drunk.
Yeah.
Drunk.
I didn't put that together.
Yeah. So a lot of people were drunk, which makes it, so much fun for the producers of the show.
I do want to say, though, I don't think everyone's drunk, because I think Ken is absolutely stone cold sober because he came here looking to like fight Steven again. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think he showed up ready to like get into a brawl.
Well, yeah. So that, I mean, we got the inside scoop because it looks like Steven and Ken really freaking hate each other.
Yeah.
And we know from Harold giving us a little secret that they had gotten into it in the past. So like when it looks like they're really mad at each other, you can see Katie Lee Joel kind of gets up and walks away, and she's like, oh shit, they're going to fight again because she's seen it before.
Yeah, that was her fight or flight programming. And she got up and got out of there, and other people got up and grabbed Steven and Ken. But this is the interaction where you can clearly tell they do not like each other.
Candace, you don't need to grow from that at all. You were completely right. It was fine. When I watched you and with the tears in your eyes, that's not cool. I do not mean make anyone feel like that. Cookie cutter with kids, of course. That is completely legit. Dude, stop laughing.
Have you got a problem with me laughing?
I do have a problem with you. Shut the up.
Why are you looking at me?
Shut the up.
Guys,
shut up.
Guys, don't even start. Okay? Shut up.
I'm not doing that. I'm gonna laugh. You don't like me laughing?
Dude, you're a joke.
You better
You're an
believe
absolute
it.
joke. Fine, it's fine.
I
I'm
want to
fine.
laugh, we'll laugh, okay?
Don't laugh at this. This
I
is
will
serious.
laugh if I want to laugh, you piece
This
of
is serious.
muck. You don't shut your mouth, put another egg over
You're
your
a white
head.
trash piece of
No,
All
I'm
right,
a tattooed
okay.
white trash
Look
piece
at
of
you.
shit. There's a
Look at you.
difference.
It has nothing to do with you.
I know, and I'm not talking with him, for fuck's sake. I'm sitting behind him. Look at
Steven,
you.
don't get into it with him. Just
Guys.
calm
Look at that
down.
t-shirt you have on, Steven. What kind of t-shirt is that you have on, Steven?
Just shut up and let him talk.
So that's sober Ken.
Yeah, that's sober Ken. Steven really sounds even drunker in that clip because his words are slurring together at the very beginning. I was like, whoa, he's
trashed.
He's trashed. However, I do, and this is kind of what they hit at a lot in this reunion, is that Steven has grown. He has seen himself on camera. He did not like what he saw. And so he's doing a lot of apologies. He's correcting his ways. And I enjoyed his apology to Candace because, in an age where we just have so many non-apologies, it was nice to hear someone actually be like, I was wrong. You were right. You don't need to apologize to me.
Yeah.
And then that was immediately followed with him telling another person to shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So on top of that, I have a question for you guys. Do you get as much satisfaction as I do? Maybe it's a black people thing, but I love when white people call each other white trash. I don't know why. I get I could get popcorn and watch that all day long. I don't know why. How do you guys feel about that when you see it?
So what I was thinking about during that was I guess there's white trash in Ireland too.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking it's specific to an American thing, but I guess you can still white trash is white trash, I guess. So
yeah. I also love it as someone who's probably white trash. I think it's great to be. I don't like being called white trash, but if I have a chance to call someone else white trash, I think it's fantastic. Mm-hmm. In general, I like to feel superior to people.
So have you? I don't think I've ever called someone white trash.
I don't think I have, ironically enough.
I know I have. Not to their face, but behind their back.
Behind their backs, you've been like,
yeah,
white trash.
Oh man, they're such fucking trash. Yeah, white trash. So the reunion
jug on the ground.
the reunion ends. They excuse the 3 finalists and they ask who people think are going to win. They don't show anyone saying Harold, but I think everyone said Harold that didn't say somebody else because they don't. They have one person. I think it's Steven, who we know. Steven and Harold very much like each other. Steven in this episode said that Steven's a very special guy. In our interview, he referred to Steven as a very special guy, but no one says it. Nobody wants Tiffany. Everyone hates Tiffany. It's really bad.
Well, I don't know if that comes out of nowhere. I mean,
no, yeah, she earned it. And speaking of knowing how bad you could come off on TV, in the next episode of Top Chef, this is the finale in Vegas, part 1. It starts with Tiffany being like, "Look, I saw myself in the last season, and man, I suck." And she's like, "I'm not that person anymore. I'm still intense. I'm still gonna cook hard and like play hard, but I'm not a total crazy person anymore," which I like in an age when you aren't allowed to change your mind.
You know what? I thought you were leading up to a clip, and I was looking for it, and there is no clip.
No, we don't have a clip. I'm just going to do it by memory.
Every time you start trying, I feel like you're leading up to a clip.
Well, according to the run-up show, we don't have a clip now until we talk about the 3 dishes.
I know. That's why I was so confused. I was like, why is he trying right now? So
no, there's no clip. She is a good person now, and Harold and Dave still hate her. They're in
I don't know if Harold hates her. Harold's pretty much playing the fence, right? Dave is the one who's like, any chance he gets is like firing off at Tiffany. But Harold's like, I would have preferred Leanne, but it's okay. Tiffany's here. She's a good chef.
He's just there to cook. That's his whole thing. Like,
if there's something we know about Harold,
he's only there to cook. He's not there to play games, mind games, or any of that other stuff. That's what he's there for. And what we see a lot in the reunion with like people picking him as the winner, and also like the clips that they show of him. And when Gail also says, "Are you single?" A real bizarre question to ask someone.
Yeah.
He is a clear baby face here, and this is when we get into wrestling references. He is the baby face. He is the guy that they are putting over as who they want to win, and it's clear that Tiffany is the heel here. She is the villain. So they are going to probably end up going to battle, and Dave is just the wild card.
Yeah.
And Dave is Vampiro.
And Ken is a jobber, and Ken is a jobber. You just bring out.
No, Ken is Ken Shamrock. Come on, we can do that.
I will laugh at every single one.
We're at 32 minutes, but if we want to do this, let's fucking do this. Ken is most certainly Ken Shamrock. He's the first one eliminated. 2 is Andrea. Who is Andrea? She's a woman
Stratus.
who is. We have to go with people that I know. So either old or
how do you not know
AEW.
Trish Stratus? She's like the original first woman wrestler. Like
I think that's China.
No, I think. But didn't Trish become bigger than China? Wasn't she like a more of a fixture?
I don't know.
They're all wrestlers.
Let's keep talking about this on our other podcast.
No, I'm gonna go through this real quick.
Too hard for me. I'm hurting my brain trying to think of other wrestlers. I mean,
well, let's do the easy ones then. The ones that
Steven
stick
is
out.
the original Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I think. That's
my god, yeah,
sweet
yeah.
for him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The refined Triple H, yeah.
Cynthia is Mankind. She has that big white shirt, that big white button-up shirt on.
Yeah, that works.
So that means then Miguel is Dude Love because
Miguel could be Dude Love. That works. I know that you said Dave was Vampiro. I think I would like him to be the Undertaker. I think that works.
Yeah.
That does work.
And then who else? I don't
Tiffany
know.
is the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, Brian's Hulk Hogan. Yep, and I think that's everyone in the cast.
We did it. Okay.
Candace is Sunny. Does that work? Maybe Sable.
So they're at the MGM Grand. They're in Las Vegas. this is where the finale is happening, and the bright lights of Las Vegas. We see a sweet shot of Dave checking his AOL mail at one point.
Oh, it takes me back.
We get the "You've got mail." Yeah, we go back to Jamal in college.
Yeah, takes me back. Checking my email. I had to ask my parents, can you send me back with like 5 discs just so I can get through the semester?
Yeah, I was asking my mom for
AOL discs
for cookies and treats from home, and Jamal's like, "Dear mother, please send AOL discs."
Things have not gone well, mother. Please send the discs.
My roommate has caught a flu. I fear that I might catch it soon.
Homework is piling up, mother.
So they go to this. They're in this sweet ass sky lounge. The guy who lets them into the room looks like a total dweeb, and they keep showing him. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I think he must be like a son of, maybe he's Tom Colicchio's son. Forgot to ask him. I haven't heard from Tom in a while. Have you guys heard from Tom in a bit?
I got an email. I got an email from Tom, but it said at the top from Mailer Demon, undeliverable to the email address that Tom gave us. So
and was that him replying to one of your emails?
Well, I think it was an automatic email. So that's just the Gmail telling me that his email account is no longer receiving emails from me, or it's not deliverables. So that's the last official email I got from Tom. I think he's either closed that email or changed his email.
Okay. So that's what I was worried about, and that's me doing a Reeves.
That's Reeves yes-anding 101. So don't literally say yes and, just say.
Okay, so that's what I was worried about.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. So I haven't heard from Tom in a while, and you just got that Mailer Demon email. So I think Tom might have cut us off. I think we're off the teat now.
So real quick question. You guys aren't receiving texts from Tom?
Oh, you're kidding me. You're getting texts from Tom.
So I got a text from what I assumed was Tom, and it just said, "Are you okay?" ? And then there was a link.
Did you click? And you clicked it?
I clicked the link, yeah.
Okay. And now I'm worried to ask, but what happened?
Well, so I clicked it through my phone, right? This is on my phone.
Yeah.
And you guys know I've been having trouble with my TV, my computer and stuff.
Yeah.
They're all super strong.
They're all very, very strong. And that actually kind of leads into what's happened, because they have formed what can only be described as a gang.
Okay. So that's what I was worried about happening.
Yes. And they are running my house. So I'm in another room for the listeners at home. I'm not recording where I normally record. And that's because they are doing, they said, a WOD downstairs, which is so my phone's not really open now.
Oh my God.
For those who don't know what a WOD is, it's the male version of wet ass pussy.
Oh man. I do we have to cut that? Because that is a pretty good joke.
No, I'm keeping that. I wish I hadn't said the actual word, but I'm keeping that in. Gosh, yeah. Oh, that's scary. Just don't let them outside of the house, and don't feed them after midnight. This episode, it's a quick fire. It's part 1, and they say, guess what? The quick fire is now an elimination challenge, and someone is going home after this quick fire challenge. Okay, that's pretty standard fare now for Top Chefs. Kind of their thing is to do I kind of expected them to kind of be a gag, though, to have them not send somebody home afterwards to get 3 people in the finale. But no, they send someone home.
Yeah, someone goes home. This is the first time they've done it. The stakes couldn't be higher. Harold wants to win so he can open his own restaurant. Tiffany wants to win so she can travel, and Dave wants to win so he has money because we
find out that while Dave was gone, his restaurant closed. And I mean, that makes sense because the whole draw of his restaurant is that there was a vampire making the food, and now that was gone, so people just didn't go around anymore. You guys remember that bit? He's a vampire.
Yeah.
So what the quickfire challenge, which is an elimination challenge, so there's really no point in calling it a quickfire challenge, is that they have to do room service. And what they're told to do is that they'll have 3 dishes to make, or 3 rounds of dishes, and they'll have 30 minutes to make each of them. And when they get there, one judge will accompany the server to the room, and they'll get the room's thoughts on the food and then report back for the judge's table. Sounds pretty simple, right?
Maybe too simple.
Maybe too simple. And
You would think it would be easy. Sorry.
No, go.
Sorry. I was just to say there's a clip of Dave struggling with a can opener. It made me laugh.
Well, from what it looks like, he's just like opening it and slamming it back down, opening it and slamming it back down. And then at one point Dave says like, cooking under stress isn't what I do. And it's like, that's not true at all.
That's exactly what you do.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But I mean, he's, this is do or die for him right now. So I think he is extra stressed.
Yeah.
He opened a restaurant that was called the Stress Factory, I believe.
And people kept going there, and I don't have a joke for that.
Yeah,
so
neither do I.
So moving on. So they get 10 minutes to explore the kitchen, which is full of stuff. It has everything. It's got fresh fish and other meats and all the produce they could possibly want, a ton of frozen stuff. They're like, and Tom keeps being like, I think there's too much stuff here. And they're like, yeah, we got him because this is too much. They're going to know what to do. And Tom's tricky like that.
Yeah, we established in some other episode that Tom is the Riddler, and he likes to throw lots of crazy curveballs at people to confuse them and make the competition difficult. So they have to make they get their first order up. And it's for, I think what they describe as like the high roller suite or whatever. And they have to fix seafood, both hot and cold. So 2 dishes, hot and cold. And they do it. And I don't think so. To be completely honest, not a lot of interesting stuff happens in this episode. So whatever, they do those dishes. But the interesting part, the twist is when they go up to the higher roller room, it is our favorites, Leanne, Steven, and Miguel, who are the ones who will judge their dishes.
I really felt for Miguel in that moment. I think that's something that I would do. I would like go to cut my shrimp, have it fly off the plate. He then like asks Leanne for her shrimp, and she's like, no way.
She's like, I know what you're going to do with it. You're just going to accidentally like flip it and it's going to fly out a window or something.
we had a nice Top Chef moment when they're all cooking their seafood dishes and Tom being like, none of them use the caviar. And then we get up to the room and they're like, where's the caviar? Yeah. It's like, cool. The producers all work together on this one.
Yep. Really showing that the show is written ahead of time, which is good because we knew that with the character Steven, and bringing Steven back is almost like, all right, we've got an inside person again to like facilitate these challenges.
So they say that Harold wins that one. They liked his fish dish the best. And then we go to the second room service order, and it is to professional poker players, and they want snack foods. There's one professional poker player that looks like he's hiding from the cops. He has like a hat pulled all the way down and big sunglasses. And they say his name, but it could be a fake name. I think he's hiding who he actually is.
You're talking about Phil Hellmuth.
Yeah, that's, there are quotes around his name when it shows Phil Hellmuth. It says like Phil Hellmuth. Great.
Do you guys see the part when Harold didn't know that a Corona, you have to actually like use a bottle opener to get the cap off? He thought it was a twist top. Wasn't that adorable?
Yeah.
He said, I don't drink beer.
That's young. Yeah, he doesn't drink beer. He just cooks.
He just cooks.
I don't drink beer. I just cook. Right? I just came here to cook.
If you told Harold to cook with that Corona, he would have figured out he would have knew how to open it. But because they handed it to him as like, this might be a drinking beverage. He's like, well, what do I do with it?
Yeah, he's like, I can't cook this. I'm a baby face. I can't be drinking.
I can't cook this.
So everyone does a snack thing. Harold uses frozen wings that I guess he makes his own sauce for. And fucking everyone loved them.
I love
Yeah.
that part so much. I guess it's like a testament to the demographic that they're like the people that they're serving like don't have advanced palates or whatever that even means.
Yep.
But the thing they like the most were frozen chicken wings that he just deep fried. Like there's clips of Harold being like, I just took it out and I just deep fried it.
Yeah.
And they're like, those chicken wings are great.
And then remember Tiffany was like, Harold went with the chicken wings. Not my style.
Yeah, and then they dinged Tiffany. Like they were like, "What the fuck is this? We don't want any of this stuff." There was like a tomato sandwich, and they're like, "Dude, I'm a fucking poker player, bro.
I'm a fucking poker player. Did you see my name? Phil Hellmuth.
My name is it's Phil Hellmuth. It's not Baron Davis, not the basketball player." And then Dave made stuff. Dave also made like frozen egg rolls, and they loved those too.
Yep.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Dave was cooking on fire, literally, in these competitions if he did not have the slip up that's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Dave won that round. They say that Tiffany lost that round, and Harold did okay. Then the third people they have to do room service for are actually theater service because they're bringing food to the Cirque du Soleil actors in the theater. And this part, I know Reeve said we already did spooky last week, but it was a little spooky. They were all wearing masks and outfits, and it was a little dark, and they were swinging from the ceiling, and I got a little scared.
Yeah, and in case you ever see one of those shows and you look at the guys and think, wow, those guys are in great shape, they're making you feel bad about myself, they are wearing skin-tight costumes that have abs actually spray painted on, so they are not actually that fit. So
so don't feel bad at all.
Yeah. I was like, these folks are ripped. Then I was like, oh, no, wait, that's a shirt.
Yep. So they have to make 3 dishes for them, and it's got to be high in protein and carbs and low in fat, baby.
Which, that means grab the Kobe beef and meet me at the grill.
So they cook 3 dishes. It's got to be high in protein, high in carbs, low in fat. So they're all cooking their dishes. And the main thing is you got 3 dishes you got to do. Not 1, not 2, not 4, 3 dishes.
Yeah, the sweet spot.
Right in that sweet area. So Dave, he messed up. He only did 2 dishes. And he put it down to not being in the groove.
I have a sneaky suspicion that it's because of him being afraid of the number 3. I think he's just like, there's something, that number just like doesn't hit him quite right. And so he like subconsciously only did 2. And he's afraid of the number 3 because 4, 5, 6. Good, all that?
Nope, that's all good. He's afraid of number 3.
Walk me through that joke.
The justification.
There's nothing to that joke. That joke was me trying to be silly and random. It's kind of like doing like anti-humor. A lot of people in Brooklyn do like anti-humor where it's like so bad that other people laugh at it.
Oh, that's
and it seems
so
to
cool.
work for people.
That's cool. I like that. That's funny and cool and good. Got all that. Go ahead.
They liked Dave's dishes, but he didn't do 3, so they were bummed. They did not like Tiffany's dishes. They said that her pork was salty and it was rubbery, and they liked Harold's dishes just fine. Judges table, let's get to it. They're talking, and Harold is safe. Harold wins. Everyone's like, cool, Harold, you did a good job. You're going to stay in Vegas. We get down to the final 2, Tiffany and Dave. It seemed like nobody liked Tiffany's food. Like, it seemed like she very clearly did the worst.
She did. And if it wasn't for Dave messing up, I'm pretty sure we go back in time and Dave puts out a 3rd dish. It's the boys in the finals.
Yeah. So do you think that they maybe went back and they knew that Dave was going home kind of ahead of time because he had forgotten that dish, or maybe he just did okay and maybe they edited it in a way so it seemed like it was more neck and neck?
I think they knew because Tom and the judges say when he doesn't bring out a 3rd dish that it's unforgivable.
Yeah.
So that's kind of hard to take back.
Into the camera and said, unforgivable.
This was unforgivable.
And his eyes turned red. So maybe that's something to do with the fear.
Then they left the room like Thanos at the end of Avengers.
Do you guys remember? And this was a long time ago. This was like early internet stuff. There's like a guy, and there's like a black guy, and he was always like shot in black and white on these videos, and he would like talk through his teeth, and he would say like, "So I went to the arcade with my girl," and it would always end with him saying "unforgivable." You guys remember that?
I don't.
Reeves is shaking his head. Yes,
I do know what that is. Yes, it is.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it.
No. I don't know if it's still funny, but I can hear him say, "What's that smell like?" in my head, and it's very funny to me.
All right. Well, if you're listening and you got that reference, good for you. You had early internet. But Dave is at the elimination table, and because he does not put out a third dish, they give Tiffany the pass and the passport to go to the finals, and they send Dave home. Let's take a listen.
Dave, please pack your knives and go.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks. Thank you. Okay.
It's hard to see Dave go. I didn't want to see him go, but I didn't want to go.
Dave just oozes passion, and everybody gets caught up in it. And it's, it's a shame. He's a great cook.
Thanks so much.
You did such an amazing job. Really.
Thank you. Had I followed the instructions and made a third plate, it could have made a difference, but, no excuses.
Great job. Good luck.
Thank you. See you. Top Chef was a good experience. It's about teaching, sharing, learning, growing. I know that my friends and family are going to be very proud. I wish I could have gone farther. I didn't want to lose to Tiffany. Harold's been true all the way through. He's got to win. Don't forget about Dave Martin. I have a lot to offer, and food is my real passion, and I want to share it on a broader scale.
Dave Martin packs his knives and goes home.
So, as a reminder, Tom is the head judge, and what he says goes. So I think ultimately, like, who he wants, no matter like how a cook goes, especially when you get towards the very end, I think if there are certain people that he wants in that finale, that's what he gets. So I have a theory, a conspiracy theory, that really Dave probably did do the best out of the three of them, even with like the consensus of the people that were actually trying the food. But Tom, because I just kind of got this feeling that Tom didn't really like Dave. I think he accepted his cooking, but I think like Tiffany was maybe more his style of cook, Tiffany and Harold. And so I think it was kind of like an opportunity, like the whole miss dish, which I mean, it is bad. You shouldn't miss a dish, but I think it was an opportunity to be like, okay, good. I can get rid of Dave and I can have the two people I want in the final.
I think Tom did not like how erratic he brought it up a couple of times, like your emotions are all over the place in the kitchen. It's just not helpful. I think it actually bothers Tom Colicchio because he's like, I don't hire anyone with emotions in my kitchen. I do interviews, and anyone who comes in and has any kind of human emotion, I get rid of them. So,
and I'm a little sad. I grew to like Dave, especially in the reunion. I thought Dave came off really well in the reunion. Cynthia brings up something really that I hadn't thought about when she's like defending Dave, how he's always like very dramatic and he cries. And she says that food is the only art that can be seen and tasted and smelled, which I thought was like really revolutionary and smart. But then I remembered when I ate the Mona Lisa and I was like, nah, that shit ain't true.
Which, by the way, I am so glad that case is over. Like, that was, they dragged you through the mud there, the muck, really.
Yeah, I got what it was coming to me. I was over there as a guest in their country. And I asked, I was like, hey, would anyone get mad if I ate the Mona Lisa? And everyone was like,
you got Miguel.
I got him. Miguel's my dude too.
I like
These
Miguel.
Are my people.
I know. Sometime earlier I said he's like a Three Stooges character, which I think he's a little bit like that. I think he's more like a Looney Tunes character to me. Yeah, he's very cartoonish, but he's also lovable and occasionally horny.
So that is the end of 2 episodes. We didn't quite, I'll try to cut this down to make 45 minutes. We'll see. We're at 58:26, so it's going to be tough. Probably won't happen.
There's a lot to cut, so you should have no problem.
I'm going to cut that whole "it is what it is."
You should.
So, let us know. We're getting real close to the end of the season. Let us know if there's anything special we should do for the end. Any fun things that you want to hear us do or say, or just end it and do something else. We'll do that too. Just listen to the show. Go on iTunes. If you have iTunes, then you're wrong. It's called Apple Podcasts now. So go on that and rate and review us. Tell us what you had for dinner last night. And check back every Monday for new episodes. The 3 of us always here. Maybe someone from Top Chef. You'll never know until you listen to the episode. So until then, I speak for Jamal and Reeves when I say we're going to pack our knives and go.